What's going on, everyone? It is your boy Thriller here. We're here for week number 2 of the Magic Guard Draft League. We are taking on my brother Owen, aka OG Albina, in the Golden State Glades. So, a little funny history before we get into the video here. Owen and I have played actually twice before, but in different formats. The first time we placed off ever was in the first ever AP low tier, where AP actually had its own Discord server for the low tier. Owen and I faced off week 1. I almost threw the game by clicking Will-O-Wisp instead of trying to get the kills with my Pokemon, and his Feraligatr almost reverse swept me. But luckily, I picked up the win. Um, then the next time we faced off was Little Cup, the APA Little Cup server that we were in, and I was an idiot, didn't think to bring my Ferroseed versus a Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon clicked Belly Drum, and I lost. So I got body bagged by it. So this is the rubber match between me and Owen. We're in a very more offensive, high stakes game this time around, though. So I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Me and Owen have never played in the Paldea format, and really looking forward to this matchup. But you guys are excited, but like if you haven't already subscribed, if you're new, join the crew today because we're familiar with the king of the crew. Also, there will be a link to Owen's channel in the description. Please go check out my brother Owen if you're looking for really good ways to learn competitive Pokemon and learn some really cool history with the draft league scene, and also to more so get involved with his Twitter questions he does on Twitter. Definitely go check him out, please. He's a really cool guy and he's a really cool dude. He likes to act wacky and act wacky when he sees crazy sets run into him. Which a little spoiler of what we're bringing here today. But I love Owen like a brother. He's a really great guy. Guy. he's he's a color. I'm a dye color. He's a really good guy, and I would really appreciate you guys checking him out. But his team, ranked at number 1 in the league, so it's time to put him or shut him against the number 1 team. But he's got Roaring Moon, Ting Lu, Iron Maw, Pecharunt, Mesprit, Manaphy, Galarian, Zapdos, Dashbun. His Terra captains being, of course, the Moth, Manaphy, and Dashbun. I did double check the draft chat when he made transactions. Confirm of that Dashbun is Terra. It is indeed Terra. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Owen can kind of just bring whatever Mon he wants this game. The only Mon I'm feeling is that he's not gonna bring Double Poison. I think Double Poison doesn't make a ton of sense versus my draft. It can make sense in the fact that I don't have an offensive Psychic that can kind of pressure them, but I do have a Donphan and I do have Terra options with my team. So I don't feel like he's gonna go double poison to me. I do think he does bring double dark into me. Double dark is pretty good offensively as my fairy is wheezing, and honestly, it's a shit fairy, so it's not that good. Moth, I think, is the one of the two that comes because Moth is a more better offensive mon. It can definitely provide more usage here. Manaphy, I think, always comes here. I don't really know what Terra though the Manaphy's gonna be per se. Is like it could just be anything. And I do think Galarian Zapdos comes. That last slot kind of goes to Mesprit or Dashbun, in my opinion. I kind of lean towards Mesprit more because Mesprit has a lot more better utility here, and I do think the Healing Wish of the aspect of that is going to be really good and take advantage here. Also, I think it's a mon that can run either run rocks here. That way, Tinglu can go spikes and go with another different kind of array of moves that it can be in this matchup. So, the team we are going to bring in, I'm just going to just pause real quick to make sure it's just one of those, because then I can actually upload back to back weeks of this stuff. So, let me just double check this real quick. Okay, I did. So I did have to pause this. But we're here for the team builder now, and you're seeing we're gonna rock out with some fire prep this week. We are binding Ban Entei. Now, this is strictly not really a meme set, but this is a set that can actually help wear down things. This is a set that helps wear things down like the Ting Lu, trap the Roaring Moon, hopefully knock it out, get a burn with Sacred Fire if it's not Lum, and just good things to pick off with having Fire Spin plus Extreme Speed. Just an overall really cool set here. We are 4 HP, max attack adamant, 116 defense, 136 depth with the adamant nature. We don't need any speed this week because we're pretty much running speed. We're running like no speed because we outspeed the majority of the bulk that we don't need enough speed for. Pressure the ability, so if the potentially stuff like Petron comes or anything that tries to heal, we pressure on the PP for that. But this is a very gimmicky set, but it's a set that can work into Owen's draft if worked correctly. If Dashbun comes, this set's wall by Dashbun 100% of the time. Because Terra Steel is actually a very viable set into my team here, if I'm not careful. Up next, we have Bobatsy, the Sinister here with the Heat Proof with Iron Defense, Strength Step, Shuttable, Matcha Gotcha, the Weakness Policy. Yes, it's back-to-back weeks with Weakness Policy, but Weakness Policy is kind of when I need to help break through Owen's draft. Now, there's a lot of ways Weakness Policy can proc here. It can proc on Iron Mob, it can proc on any of its Dark types. It's got a very easy proc, but the way I wanted this set to work, because originally I was going to go with a Trick Room variant of this plus Dawn Fan, and even maybe like an offensive delirium wheezing or something. I was really debating on wanting to do that, but I felt like Trimmer wasn't super reliant, and I felt like I couldn't really find the investments I needed to do which or what. So I ended up going with this set, and I'm taking a massive risk by running full defense in this build. I'm not running anyways to boost my Spadef. So if Moth does come and Moth is like boost your special attack, Meteor Beam be the +1, or get some boost before Fire Radiances before we come in, it's going to be really rough for us in this matchup. So Sinister Jet here though is designed to hopefully try to break. We have Strength Subject Recovery, and then Shadow Bubble's Magic Dodge is really good into Owen's Draft. It's very hard for him to switch into this thing. Obviously, Moon is a massive issue, but we can probably be able to deal with that accordingly. Up next, we're bringing the debut of Donnie the Don fan here with the Earthquake Playroom C-Bomb and Curse. We are a really cool Don fan this week. Just because when you look at the coverage we have into Owen's draft and we just click Curse, kind of has a hard time switching in this. Plus, with the Curse, we get the defense buff is really good. Being fully split out, we guarantee can be able to take a lot of things here, which I think is really good here. And for the first time ever, I am doing this. I am running Custap Berry. I have never ran Custap Berry, and the reason being is because I think Custap Berry is a fraud. I think it's a very bad item, and that's going to help my algorithm with leaving comments. Thanks, guys. But in all seriousness, I just don't really see the appeal of this item. But I felt like, you know what? If I can get this thing in before hazards come up, and I can find some way to make this thing work, with hopefully getting a curse off first, and then an attack, and then follow off by my Custap Berry, it'd be really great. But I don't know if how this is going to work per se, but I'm hoping this set will pay off for us here. Up next, we have Doug Dimmadome, home the Dimsdale Digonome. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I probably should have changed Toxic Spice off this, and here's the reason why I should have done that. I'm finding a guy that has two poison types, and for my some idiotic brain thought, oh, he doesn't have a poison type. Let's go ahead and do that because he can tear out his poison type with moth. I didn't think that. I should have been more smart about that. I'm an idiot for doing that. So, but we have Will Haze, Toxic Spice, and Stream Stream. We were pretty much especially more sort of specially defensive slash mixed defensive set this week. Max HP 104 defense with the 152 but depth with the calm nature. With Will Haze, the Toxic Spice, and Stream, like I said. Stream Stream basically there to help hit the dark types, which is really good. And the core in the not the Corviknight, the Zapdos. Also, my cat will not leave me alone. Hayes is setup shenanigans. Willows to burn things with T Spikes just set up there, but again, probably shouldn't have been T Spikes this game. And up next, we have Terra. We have our Typhoon here now. Originally, I was Terra Fairy on this build. I was Terra Fairy on this build for a long time, but then I looked at Owen's draft and realized that this man does not have a flying resist at all. So this means that we're going to run Choice Specs Torn because if we can make sure his flying resist stay non-existent, this mon can kind of just single-handedly win the game here. We have Terra Blast, Hurricane, Focus Blast, U-Turn. We are probably going to have Focus Blast more so for Ting Lu because I know that we're going to need this to potentially 2 KO it. Unless he is full Spadef, then is he kind of, I think it's a roll to a KO. If not, the roll is pretty much where I have to get a max roll to a KO. But even then, that with leftovers potentially, that could mean that. U-turn for pivoting, and then just Terra Blast if I think I can get something with the Terra Blast, and then Hurricane just to get maximum damage out of it. We're near max speed to make sure we're faster than everything on his team, and then we have max special attack, and the rest into HP. And up next, we're bringing Samurai, the choice banded Samurai here, because if you look at Owen's draft, Spikes go insane here. Spikes really shut down just about everything Owen has on his team. So that's where we're Ceaseless. We have Aerialis there to catch the Zapdos in on a switch in. Liquidations is super strong. And I kind of debated on this move for a very long time. We debated between having Sacred Sword or Sucker Punch. And I think in the end, Sucker Punch was the better idea here. Because with having Sucker Punch, I can get a really. If something's weak in here, and I know Owen's going to be clicking the attacking move, thinking that I don't have it, because he's either going to think I'm going to have Aqua Jet or Sucker Punch potentially into this matchup. And if I can catch him off guard with Sucker Punch, that would be really good here. But we're also baited to hit as maximum hard as we can with max attack, 16 defense, 116 speed up, and 124 speed. This will allow us to speed everything that is 80 and below from the speed tiers on the thing here. So basically, we outspeed the majority of all his bulk, and we're hitting insanely hard this game. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the matchup. And we're here for the matchup. I played this game in call, and I didn't think to record as I was calling because I was going to do the team builder, but Owens messaged me right away and saying, let's run it. And as I was getting ready to do the team builder, he wanted it. So I just said, you know, we'll just do team builder and this at the same time. Plus, with how this battle is going to go, you're going to kind of find that it's kind of a better idea. I kind of went with the post com. But I also I'm a freaking idiot because it's the second or third time I didn't click Terra Preview on the freaking Challenge Select. And you can kind of see where there might be a small controversial statement said here. So in the matchup here, we see Terra Fire Moth and Terra Electric Manaphy. Electric made sense since I didn't have a flying resist, and so he needed one. And Manaphy with Electric actually is not that crazy. It's actually pretty decent here, as it's a good offensive move into the Samurott, and I think there was like one other Pokemon on there. And also, it's a good answer to Raikou, which I was close to bringing Raikou. So, Electric, very solid prep on Owens there. So, we're going to go ahead and get started with this battle here. As I'm going to lead off my Samurai. He actually leads off with Roy Moon here. And I'm forced to switch out into my Weezing here. He's going to click U-turn, which tells me that this is most likely going to be Scarf or Banded. And based off the damage I saw Scarf here, now again, he could have been potentially Boots, which could have made sense here. Could have been Lum. But when I see U-turn on this build, I'm always going to assume maybe it's potentially Scarf. But in comes the Iron Moth here, and I'm going to go ahead and go right into my Donphan here. I guaranteed live this hit, and it's a Choice Specs Iron Moth, which, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I didn't see Specs coming at all. I really didn't think Specs was coming. I thought it was going to be Boots or Booster, maybe Meteor Beam. Didn't see Specs whatsoever. So now, and I probably should have thought this turn out a little bit more because he sees I'm sturdy. He has to fear Custab, and he went into Zapdos. I should have thought that more. I did make him have a funny comment here where I go, yeah, the one time I ever run this dumb berry. He's gonna kill me here. But now I go Torn, and this is where the slight controversial moment would have happened here. So you're gonna see I said Terra Fairy, Terra Flying. Um, I clicked Terra Fairy flying over Fairy. So what was going to probably happen here was that Owen was either to get a 6-0 victory or a 3-0 victory, and this game was just going to be forfeited out because I said the wrong Terra type. And again, this one, if that ends up being the case, then I mean I don't really freaking care because you're going to see later on in this game how my luck is going to go. And from missing the Hurricane the first time, yeah. So um, here's the thing. Like I stated in the team builder part, I was gonna go Fairy because I felt like Fairy was super good. Because if Owen tears out of the Fairy, he might still get stabbed or potentially Sludge Wave on his Moth. I don't know how that mechanic works still. But Sludge Wave would not have been that much concerning here. And again, besides maybe other things, which also, by the way, he brought Pecharon, which I did not see coming at all. I didn't think he'd be bringing double poison into my draft. Be granted, again, yes, I do not have a psychic type, but I don't know how I felt about. I guess in fairness too, if my ground was special, I could probably see why no Pecharon. But since my ground is Donphan, and Donphan can kind of get taken one, like you kind of see now from Owen's point of view why he would bring Pecharon. So but yeah, so I clicked it and I missed. I click Hurricane here again and I missed. So it didn't even matter that I brought the wrong Terra type because I couldn't do any damn thing. So here, I'm going to go ahead and just click Fire Spin here as I do connect that. I can connect that, but not a Hurricane. And we've realized it's Black Sludge. We're going for the Protect here. We're going to show off the tech here with this Entei. He is going to get the Malignant Chain here as I am going to go fire off a Sacred Fire here. Do get the burn, which is nice. Malignant Chain, and of course gets the poison and the confusion's its ability. First turn of confusion. I hit myself. And that actually matters because most likely, I mean, I can't really tell how much that was really doing to the Petron here because we saw it did 25%, 27%. So we're going to see this do another. So we're going to click Sacred Fire here again. We're going to see that we do 28. So I think if if we don't hit ourselves in confusion, this Petron's dead. Now, in hindsight, it probably would not have mattered as much because we can't still do anything to the Petron. Because as soon as this comes in, if anything has DD or if this one's just click spec Sludge Wave, I can still lose. So, yep, at this point in time, I'm just playing against RNG, and Owen actually makes a pretty cool play here. Is first off, we get the crit now. I mean, it doesn't matter. He clicks Parting Shot, which is really smart on his end there because now he gets Zapdos in for free. I died to Toxic. And now I'm gonna force to make a double here, predicting the flying move. Well, he clicks your turn. In comes Moth. And even though I am heat proof, Specs blows proof right through that. So yeah, there was just nothing I could have done, man. I did go for liquidation here. Of course, get to defense drop, which lets this Zapdos just do whatever he wants. And that kills, so it's not a 6-0. I mean, if it's a 6-0 because of the Terra rule, I don't fucking care. So, yeah, I didn't get to play this game, man. I, honest to God, didn't get a chance to play, and it fucking sucks, man. Like, for me and Owen to have our first real battle in a proper format, like, they'll just lose to RNG like that, man. It's fucking stupid. It really is. Like, if I hit one of those, like, it was still a roll to kill. I mean, it was a 50-50 roll. As we're going to look at this calc here, I mean, I don't know what Owen's spread is on his Moth. I'll say that right now. But if we look at my Tauren here, Hurricane was a roll. I mean, it depends on the investment of his Moth. Like, he said it was probably like a 50-50. So that probably tells me he maybe had some HP potential Spadef investment, potentially. He also might have not been max special attack on his thing here as well. But it basically came down to this, right? In my view, this is pretty much a roll in my favor to kill. It is a roll in my favor to kill with this thing. And I missed. Now, obviously, it's my fault for running Hurricane. But, you know, when you need the damage output, you need the damage output. And Hurricane did really well. So maybe I went with my nasty plot set. If I went with my nasty plot set, I think it would have been a better situation at that point in time. But I mean, it's just whatever, man. But like I said, GG to Owen again. If it's a 6-0, I honestly don't freaking care if it's a 6-0 based on the doc because without the rules, it's gonna work. But in my opinion, nothing happened with that, so I don't think it's gonna result in a 6-0. But if it does, like I said, I don't care. But yeah, this was a shitty way to have a good rubber match against like a really good guy. Like I always like playing against people like Owen because like they're really good test. He's a really good tested battler, multi-time champion. I love testing myself against the big names out there. And just sucks to lose because of just RNG like that, man. It really does. Because if Mothman went down, it would have opened the door for a lot more things in our team. But yeah, that's just how it's gonna go. And yeah. We'll go ahead and wrap up this video. Not be sour anymore. We're just gonna have to move on because no, we're just gonna have to try to have some fun, try to just enjoy the season. Next week though, I'm very excited because for the first time ever, me and my homie Diet Tight, aka Jason, are gonna battle now. You guys may not know this, but I mock with Jason a lot. You may have heard him shout me out in his videos that I would mock with him. And Jason and I played in a speed tour that John hosted. And in my opinion, I don't think that really counts as your first time playing against someone because it's not draft really. So this is gonna be the first proper time me and Jason are gonna battle, and he's got a very scary team. It's gonna be really tough to prep for. So really looking forward to that first time we're battling against Jason. But yeah, Jesus Owen again, like I said, you go check him out in the description down below. He's a pretty funny guy and he's a really good battler. So if you really want to learn the format, go check out my boy Owen. But with that, I will see you guys next time. I'm out of here, guys. Bye.